I'm on with Coach Manny Gomez, and Coach Gomez, you guys put together a game last week with Coach Bill Littleton from Memorial, and a lot of coaches want to have time to prep for a game. Why is it that you guys were able to? And I talked to Coach Littleton yesterday. Why did you guys want to do this game? Why was it important for you?
Man, it's really more of an emotional reason, man, because, you know, as a kid growing up, you know, all I ever wanted to do was play Cardinal football. And I've never lost that thought and feeling and emotions, man, because, you know, it's difficult to people to understand. They may say, I know, I understand. No, you don't. Unless you've been in my shoes where you're a hometown boy and all you ever want to do as a kid was play Cardinal football, and then you waited your turn and you had an opportunity to do it in a big way, and now you happen to be the head coach. Oh my God, 30 years later you're still there. It's a surreal moment, man, and it's both not nostalgic moments about what I just talked to you, but at the same time, you know, you still have like vicarious emotions, man, as far as you live vicariously through these kids, man. And imagine, Manny, if you were a senior and they said you couldn't play a game, you know, how would you feel? I would have been devastated. And that was something that our superintendent had put in our mind in a conversation that he had with the whole administration. Imagine it was you, you know, how we would have been able to do it. And even at that, I've always carried myself as a coach, as a mentor, as a person, you know, to do what's right for anybody. And right now, me being the head coach is do what's best and what's right for these kids is provide an opportunity, just one opportunity by all means. And sure enough, you know, that's why when I was driving home and Bill Littleton called me on the phone, I was joking with Bill because he asked me, you know, Bill and I have a great relationship, even though we don't get together, but we joke and laugh on the phone. But I was like, hey, what's up, Bill? You calling if you can call the Harlingen Cardinals? You can play the Harlingen Cardinals on Friday? And that's what he said. Yeah, Manny, that's exactly why I'm calling you. It's like, and I was driving back from Weslaco because I went to go eat at Weslaco with my family. It's me and my daughter, and I almost locked up on the wheel, man. Like, oh my God, we're about to play. Anyway, so that's the thing. It was more of an emotional opportunity. It's like, you know what, we're gonna line up in this front, and we're gonna just go ball twitches. Let's go take care of your gap, blow it up, kind of stuff. And that's all we ended up doing. You know, offensively, you know, we do what we do, and that's the whole thing. It's a program. It's a program. It's not just a team. It's a program that you put it on the field. It's going to function. You know, it may take a couple of run-throughs or whatever, but it'll eventually pick its pace and find a way. And that's the whole thing that I've always tell these kids: always be ready, fellas. Always be ready for the unexpected. You don't never know, and that's exactly what happened. They put the whole program in place. Maybe what we did fail in was a couple of the protocols when it comes to now this new unprecedented time of social distancing and so on the sideline. But you know what? You know, I was just tickled pink, man, and to be able to be on that field, any field, with my kids, and yeah, even for McAllen Memorial, that's what I mentioned to whoever I spoke to after the game, was it's a win-win for both communities, both programs, because we were able to go out there and let our kids play the game that they love to play.
And did you guys have a lot of time to, like, as far as game speed type stuff? Did you have scrimmages, or was this your first thing? You're going in cold, you know, ready for this game?
Well, you know, nobody's allowed to have a scrimmage, so we do a lot of, like, on Tuesdays. We just finished doing a lot of ones-on-ones right now, so we turn it up, man, on Tuesdays. So that's why I was a little excited when I was still talking to you on the phone, man. But because, like I said, we get going early in the morning. But anyway, no, we did not have any scrimmage, but we do simulate ones-on-ones, man, and we find ways to try to simulate things. But at the same time, you got to be careful because you don't want to get nobody hurt. At the same time, with social distancing, it's imperative that we can't do like certain things, but we do go 11 on 11, and we turn it up, man, you know, and make a game situation. And then after that, it's conditioning. Conditioning is pivotal, you know. It's for any, you know, young coach out there. It's important because eventually, people say a lot of games are won in the fourth quarter. I go opposite. I think that a lot of games are lost in the fourth quarter. Why? Because people are not conditioned. And as soon as the mind goes, the body goes. So I truly believe wherever the mind is at, the body will follow. The man will follow. But at the same time, if the mind is not right because it's fatigued, and fatigue makes cowards of us all, it's an old Lombardi saying, you know, it shows up, man. So that's one thing about what we do here. We don't just practice hard, but we we condition hard, and that's a big part of who we are.
You know, and when you see teams like Pioneer, Bello this morning that are having to suspend practices, what do you guys have to do as far as your protocols to make sure that you guys don't have that issue?
Well, it's being real, having real talk, man. It is what it is, guys, because we have to be transparent about all of this. You know, we can't try to sugarcoat it. Oh, well, let's not tell them. Hopefully, or hope it doesn't happen to us. That's shame on you if you're taking that approach. I think you need to grab the bull by the horn and say, hey, guys, look, man, this is happening in Edinburgh. This is happening here. This is happening in Lightford. This is happening here. There. And bring it to their attention, because can it be us? Yes. So that's why it's imperative that we're on point. That's one thing that having a conversation actually with Juan Castillo about maybe 6 weeks ago, and he mentioned to me, say, what's going to happen in the league is not necessarily that the best team. It's the best team that's going to be able to follow protocols and keep their players safe, because, you know, I truly believe that can happen this year. Somebody, if the season doesn't, if it's not shut down, I believe that somebody from our area can hopefully make an impact, have an impact in the 4th or the 5th round, because who knows what can happen. You can catch a team slipping because of COVID, and all of a sudden, you know, key players may not be on the field, and all of a sudden, bang, because you got to understand the best product is not going to be out there at any level, because there are certain things that, certain procedures that we've had to kind of compromise a little bit because of the COVID. So, you know, fans and ADs and the stakeholders or whoever, you know, our best product is not going to be at any level in the valley or up north, whatever, because of certain things that we have to do at practice. But again, if the opportunity is allowed to play and the Cardinals are there, we're going to play. We're going to play and have tons of fun, you know, because that's the whole thing. You don't never know when it's going to be taken away from us. So that's the approach that we're taking. Every day we're going to practice hard, because you don't never know, man. You know, somebody comes out, whatever. But we do have protocols in place for contact spacing. So if one kid were to come across, you know, we do have process for that. But anyway, that's another conversation another time. But again, bottom line is, you know, we just are embracing every single day and living up to the hype of Cardinal football.
And last question. You know, you've been at this for a while. You know, you've been coaching at a high level. Your teams were always real successful. The other day, the Harlingen Cardinals lost somebody legendary from their program. You know, when do you start evaluating? And this is, I know it's early, and you probably, you know, you were going to lift and all that kind of stuff. And I'm throwing this question out for you. How much longer do you want to coach? I mean, you know, you've got kids. You've got a life outside of football. How long do you want to keep winning and leading these young men?
Well, I truly believe not. You know, it's definitely in God's hands, man. You know, I'm a believer, and I truly believe it's in His hands. But at the same time, you know, I just think that I'm selfish, man, when it comes to our program and our city. You know, I believe in Harlingen South too, man, because I grew up in that side of town, you know. And I believe that Harlingen should be a team that should have two top teams. And I know Coach Ritchie is doing some great things over there. But, you know, I just think that our kids in our community deserve better, man. You know, I think that there should be, you know, just and there's processes that are starting to play. But I just think that, you know, it's like when somebody gives me something, I want to be able to give them back. But it looks better, it looks shinier, it looks stronger, you know. And that's the whole thing. When I inherited this place, I knew that I was going to say change. No, it's not just transition. It's going to be change from the inside out. It's like people, like I was totally going to untwist it, because I think that there are certain things that needed to change from the inside. Don't get me wrong. The Boyds laid a good foundation, and then Coach Creeders eventually did some great things too. But I knew that there was going to be some, not just change, transition, but change. And that was always from the inside. You know, you can get kids big and strong, but I think what I brought to the table is more the intangible pieces of the soul and the emotional strength that we can create through you know, believing and understanding. But anyway, to answer your question, you know, I would love to be able to retire a Cardinal. But don't get me wrong, I love my city, you know, and my city, I live on the west side, you know. I live on the south side. I live 2 minutes away. You know, who knows, man? I just got great ideas, because I truly believe it, man, and in my heart, that our kids from our city, from my city, my town, they deserve better, man. And and hopefully, you know, over time we can make that happen and stuff, and for our kids and for our future generations and stuff, because I love this place, and I say sometimes to people, like, you know, sometimes I think it'd be easier for me to work somewhere else, because, you know, it wouldn't hurt as much when we lose or something, because it is something that is it's in my soul to be a part of this organization. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but sometimes maybe when I decide to retire, I need to go work somewhere else, because it won't mean as much. But I know anywhere I go, as long as I can breathe, because I know, you know, I look up to people like Juan Castillo, who's in the NFL, right? You know, we were just texting back a little while ago, because they had a big tough loss yesterday. But anyway, you know, he goes hard, man, because he loves the game, and I feel the same way. I just one day want to be able to someday be a state champion, you know, and I know it's difficult down here, because, you know, eventually size does, you know, I'm being real, size eventually catches up to us in the Valley. It would have to be like a perfect plan, a perfect game to be able to eventually be a state champion down here. But, you know, who knows? But again, like I told you earlier, it's in God's hands, man. I'll leave it at that. But between now and then, we're going to have fun like we were having this fun this morning with our kids out there in the practice field. We had the great little northern blow in, man. I'll tell you what, it was fun. I'd actually kind of run inside, man, because I'm a Valley boy, man. I don't really like the cold weather, but I ran inside, got my hoodie, and we finished practice. But it was fun, man, and that's the whole thing. You know, it's going to be difficult the day that I have to remove myself from this place and retire, because I know I just witnessed it maybe about 2 months ago with Coach Lucio. He was here like 33 years, and he retired from Harlingen, but he's still coaching in Harlingen, but at MMA. But he goes, man, it's not easy, because I did say, you know, sometimes, man, I wish I could go coach somewhere else, because it wouldn't mean as much. And he goes, Coach, he texted me like 3 days later. He goes, man, remember that saying that you said that many times to us as coaches? He goes, I'm living it, and it sucks. He goes, it's not Harlingen high, man, you know. But, you know, it's like I said, man, it's who we are. It's who I am. I'm a Valley kid who loves the Valley. I love the Valley for many reasons, man, and I'm an advocate for Valley football. Who knows? That's why I'm getting involved with this Hispanic Coaches Association for once, because, you know, I'm a little older now and my kids are grown up. I want to be able to pave a way for a younger coach someday to eventually have a seat at the main table when it's all said and done, because that's what it is. I want to bring some form of respect to Valley football, and you know, there's some teams out there doing some great things and knocking on doors and breaking down doors. And before it's all said and done, you know, I want for people to be able to say, you know what, Coach Gomez, if anything, he may not know, or maybe sometimes he's a little bit too outspoken or whatever they may say of me, but, you know, unless you really know who I am, you know, I love my kids, I love my program, and, you know, I love my city. You know, with that being said, I love Harlingen South football, except when we play them, right, which is going to be this Friday. You know, for that one day, I advocate for them, but, you know, I just want the best for our kids of our city of Harlingen, and for the Rio Grande Valley as well. So I just appreciate it, man, and
yeah,
I appreciate you, and go Cards.
Hey, best of luck this week against Harlingen South, and hopefully you stay COVID-free the entire season.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Jake.
Thanks, Manny.
All right, brother. Peace.